Let's take you now, though, to Israel, where tensions between Israelis and Palestinians remain high and relations between the two communities are becoming ever more strained. In Jerusalem, an ultra-nationalist Jewish group called Lahava has been organising patrols aimed at stopping Jewish Israelis from even talking to Arabs. Lahava says it wants to protect Jewish identity, but left-leaning Israelis monitoring it have condemned them as racist and violent. Camilla Stück has more.
We focus on this group, Lahava. The dangerous time is when small groups are walking around and want to find Arab people to attack them.
Some people have said that members of your group may harass Arab residents.
אנחנו נמצאים פה בשביל להסביר לבנות שלא ילכו עם ערבים ובשביל לשמור שהערבים לא יתחילו עם הבנות שלנו. אנחנו לא פועלים באלימות. כל יום דוקרים פה יהודים. אנחנו שומרים שהיהודים לא יפחדו.
It became really dangerous to be an Arab man or woman in this center city. We decided to be here to make sure that nothing really bad is happening.
You followed them at night time?
Yes, when they understand that we are videoing what they're doing, sometimes they're attacking. And I have once really attacked by a big group. In the end, someone in the crowd shouts, "Stop, he's a Jewish," and they stopped.
Do you feel like you need to take the law into your own hands?
We're doing what they didn't do. If they see Arabs that look to a Jewish girl, they didn't do nothing. But my people tell him to don't do it.
I'm part of an Israeli group called Speaking in the Square that can talk about politics in a more complex way, which in Israel doesn't really exist right now. We've been here for the past year and a half since last summer. So a lot of the talking is with Lahava kids. When the adults are here, they really try to keep them away from talking to us. They're inciting and brainwashing kids who have nowhere else to go.
They don't represent mainstream Israeli.
Not mainstream Israeli.
But a significant minority.
A minority. I think that a lot of people who maybe have similar ideals or similar political or maybe the right wing or the extreme right are still not violent when it comes to it. And this group, unfortunately, is sometimes.
Do you think that your views represent a large section of Israeli society?
אנחנו הרוב, רוב העם איתנו.
So you would argue that because it's also Jewish law that only Jews can marry Jews,
Yes.
that actually a majority of people in Israel believe in what you do?
We do what all the people here think.
Do you feel safe in Jerusalem?
We just need people that don't agree to become part of this violence.
Well, let's take you now to Jerusalem and talk to Eli Rakoff, who is an activist for Lahava. Thank you for being with us on GMT. What do you say to allegations that your group is simply racist and inciting violence?
What I want to say is we are not racist, we are just fighting terror from inside and we're fighting terror from the outside. Those are take Jewish girls, are actually terrorizing the Jewish girls, beating them up, capturing them, keeping them at home, not letting them out. And while we come to those girls and we explain them what happens.
What evidence? I have to interrupt because those are very serious allegations that you are making. What evidence do you have?
What evidence do I have? I'll say a personal story. I have a adopted brother that his father is an Arab and his mother is a Jew. When he was a kid, he went to an Arab school and he got beaten up for being a Jew. So when his parents got divorced, he went to a Jewish school and he got beaten up for being an Arab. Afterwards, when he went to the army, the second they figured out he's an Arab, he's half Arab, they didn't allow him to go out for operations anymore.
There are many people who are against the rhetoric of your group and the actions of your group, including some very prominent MPs. I wanted to bring a quote to you from Itzhak Shmuli, who said in the Knesset that you are Islamic State with a kippah. You don't represent any kind of Judaism or any kind of morality. You are a disgrace to the state and to society.
Itzhak Shmuli even is looking at us as a right-wing guys who follow Rabbi Kahana's lead. And that means even if we would come and we would try making peace, an organization that would come and try making peace with England or whatever country it would be, it would say we are now legal and we are ISIS. Whatever we would do, that's what it would say. If we would look into us for real, once and for all, it would understand how we work. There's no violence. Everything is legal.
I have to interrupt you because in the last several months, 3 of your members have been sentenced to jail for arson of a bilingual school in Jerusalem. And our very own team of correspondents in Jerusalem have been at weddings that you've been at where you have been seen outside chanting things like death to Arabs. Those are not peaceful things, sir.
Well, what I'm saying is, we have members, and like as I said before to the guy here, if in BBC there would be a guy who would get up and do something illegal, would you say, would everybody say, well, he's part of BBC and that's why he's not supposed to be, that's why the whole BBC is corrupted? No, no one would say such a thing. There are members who go illegal, and the second they do something illegal, they are not part of the organization anymore.
But can I ask you,
and that's what we tell.
If you have now got weddings taking place under police protection because your group is there chanting things like death to Arabs, there is this feeling even that you are creating a climate in which dialogue is offensive and racist. How you think there can ever be peace in your country?
How could it be peace in the country? Let them keep the laws. When the Arabs in the east of Jerusalem don't pay the bills, don't pay water, don't pay tickets, and they don't want to pay tickets, and
Eli
they say
Rakoff,
we're not part of Israel.
I'm afraid we have to interrupt you, but thank you so much for joining us on GMT. Thanks for being with us.
Hello there. Huge contrasts in temperature and weather conditions for much of this week across North America. Central eastern side will be plagued by Arctic air. In fact, probably the coldest snap of the winter so far. That Arctic air pouring as far south as northern Florida. And here it'll be icy, frosty. There'll be some heavy snow flurries around throughout Tuesday and on to Wednesday. Meanwhile, across the west, it's all about the high pressure, which will allow temperatures to ride above normal for the time of year, certainly for California and the Great Basin. Some of that warmth reaching the Pacific Northwest and even the Vancouver area. But some of the snow will be quite heavy around the Great Lakes in towards New England and the Northeast, with some significant accumulations potentially disruptive to travel too. But it'll be very cold generally throughout Tuesday, and that cold air, like I mentioned, sinking as far south as northern Florida too. The outlook as well for Atlanta will be a cold one, dry, bright with some sunshine. Cold for New York and Montreal though, with further snow at times through Wednesday and Thursday, potentially for much of this week. So it is cold across northern parts of British Columbia, but further south here, milder than of late with some sunshine, is certainly warm across California and towards the Pacific Northwest and for much of the Great Basin. Plenty of sunshine here and light winds on Tuesday. On into Wednesday and Thursday, it's more unsettled conditions, just pushing into Vancouver and Seattle, but it remains dry, warm and sunny in California.
Are you ready for me to blow your minds? Look at your website, now look at mine. Back at yours. Yeah! Let's be honest, your website is older than leftover noodles and it's starting to stink. You need Wix.com.
Wix, create your stunning website today.